Hi guys, my name is Yusuf Tolaha Ayinde, aka Tolex Point. Yeah, welcome back to my page once again. Kindly like and follow my page for more exciting content. In this episode, I'll be talking about the part 2 of my previous post, where I was talking about knowing your right as an employee. This is very, very pivotal for every employee to know in order not to be cheated or treated unfairly. All right, so in the previous post I talked about knowing your right as an employee, as I've said earlier, and what could lead to you being terminated, what could lead to you being dismissed, and how ailments can lead to you being terminated. So if you missed this episode, you can always go back to check. All right, so in this episode I'll be continuing. So the first one I'd like to talk about is maltreatment, employee maltreatment. In a case where employees being maltreated, you have got the right to meet the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, that's the NICN, in case you are being maltreated. And what I mean by maltreatment is that maybe you're entitled to overtime, but you were denied your overtime. You were terminated wrongfully, or the company you work for is not meeting up with the minimum wage standard. In Nigeria, the minimum wage standard is 30,000 naira. But if you are working in a place where they are paying you less than the minimum wage, of course, you are being maltreated. So you have all the right, to approach the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, that's NICN, for redress. Okay, so this is very, very important. And another part I would like to talk about is your scope of work. Of course, when you are being hired, you were given your offer letter, of course, that states all your entitlement and the likes and your job role. All right. But as time progresses, the scope of your work got extended, and reasonably, it is something that you cannot cope with. All right. So the extension is something that you cannot cope with, and you were terminated as a result of the fact that you were not able to, perform. This is very, very, very wrong. All right. So in this case, such an employee can also seek redress in court. That's the National Industrial Court of Nigeria. So that's for that. But before I close or before I round up this video, I would like to, quickly chip in some tips, or let me see, some advice. All right. So let me start with CV. Never you lie on your CV. Never you lie on your CV. Make sure your educational background is what it is. Your working experience is what it is. All right. Your qualification, your professional, whatnot. Don't ever lie. It's something that could implicate you. Give or state whatever it is on your CV. And another thing I want us to know is that you should always resign well in wherever you are working. Always resign well. If you have noticed that you are going to be dismissed or you are going to be terminated, it's better you resign willingly. Because the reason why I'm saying this is that when you get another offer, to work in another company, you can be asked to give a recommendation letter from where you worked. But if your history in the previous place you worked is bad, okay, it will be very, very difficult for you to be issued a recommendation letter because you were dismissed or because you were terminated. So if you have noticed this kind of thing, you should just resign willingly. All right, so that you can always go back to get a recommendation letter to work. I know what I'm saying. All right. Another thing I want to quickly chip in is that some employees don't know the difference between query and warning letter. Once they receive a query letter, they will start, rushing. They'll start, getting frightened, getting worried, and all of that. Okay. So for query is just like asking a question. Okay, and HR is always an intermediary between an employee and employer. So an employer can meet me and be like, oh, Bola has not been performing this, that. Okay, so the best way, the formal way for me to approach is to send a mail to know, okay, Bola, what is this thing ahead? What's going on? How can we help you? All right. But if your reasons are not substantial enough, then you can proceed to warning letter. Okay, it might not necessarily be performer. It could be anything. All right. So the best is just for me to question you, more like querying you. Okay, what's the issue? Then it is for you to give response. Then if your response is not valid, if your response is not valid or genuine enough, then you can proceed with a warning letter. So I'll be rounding up here. So thank you guys for watching this second episode. Kindly like, share, and comment your view. All right. Bye.